welcome back to the most exclusive club on the internet. I am Terry.
And I'm Roy.
And we have some more Reddit stories for you today. We have been absent for a little bit, but we're back, okay? We don't know how often we're going to be posting again. We're going to do our best. So anyway.
Yeah. As a heads up, if you want a little bit of details as to what we've been doing during off time, that'll be released next week. It's a little bit of a rant, but, you know, it's fun. You can join us. Have a good time.
Yeah, next week is a little bit of a no man's land. That we planned it that way on purpose. Anyway, so the first story we have for you today is from Am I the Asshole? And this was turned in by a viewer / friend of ours. So you'll know who you are.
Hello, viewer / friend of ours.
All right, so this one says AITAH for training a guy like a dog.
No, men are dogs and pigs. We hate men. Pretty sure. Well, no. I think it's we love women in this, or we hate men. Both? Not. No. Yeah. At the very minimum, we love women here. Is that what it was? I don't remember. I remember I was saying something about that.
Do you hate men?
Yes.
You don't. You don't. But I do.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, hopefully I didn't kill somebody's eardrums. Did you see on the...
It wasn't as bad as when you were saying classical music earlier, so yeah, we're good.
We're looking at the sounds, and we can see when something spikes. Anyway. All right, let's get into the story. I am a 23 female, and I have recently started seeing this guy who's 26 male. He's super pretty, but he's kind of emotionally unavailable, and he's alluded to an unstable / unhealthy childhood.
Yeah, every guy, yeah.
It does sound like pretty much every guy. For context, I work with socializing abused and neglected dogs at a local shelter, and I think how much time I spend with the dogs is impacting the way I interact with people. When we were on a date, I started subconsciously making mental notes about him, like the dogs I'd make, like the notes I'd make about the dogs. For example, I noticed when we went out to dinner that he ate really quickly and was very anti-sharing / resource guarding. She put in
the dog term for it. Yeah.
Resource guarding is what they call it. But when I offered to pay and suggested dessert, it seemed to make him really happy and a little calmer. Food motivated. She's putting these in italices. Or not italices, but like...
Yeah, he's a dog. Like, to her.
Yeah.
Like, literally, not even as an insult. All right.
He's really particular about his car, territorial / crate aggression.
Crate aggression is... Oh, my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
He likes when I pick where we go / what we do, eager to please, etc. So I've started using the tactics I'd use on a dog with similar problems. Recently, a friend pointed out that it's weird that I keep peanut M&Ms on me with the specific purpose of offering the guy when I see him, and offering them again whenever I can tell he feels vulnerable. She said that I'm being an asshole because he's a person, not a dog, so I shouldn't be training him like one.
Literally, like, every time he's doing something, like, you want a treat? Here you go.
Yeah, like...
Good boy.
Yeah, like, oh, you just told me about your mom that died. Would you want some peanut?
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. I'm not trying to control him or anything. I just want him to feel comfortable with me the same way I need the animals I'm helping to be comfortable with me. Humans and animals aren't that different after all. We all just want to feel safe and cared for. The guy hasn't noticed yet as far as I can tell. The problem is my technique is yielding really positive results. Am I the asshole? Should I stop? Update / clarifications. For everyone asking me if I've seen The Big Bang Theory with this episode plotline, I have not.
I did not know that was a thing.
Sheldon does this to Penny. But they're not dating.
Yeah.
In case you haven't seen that show. He just does it because he has no regard for other humans.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
By the way.
But also, like, to clarify, he has no regard for other people.
Right.
It's like the key of, like, maybe this is not the best. Yeah.
Right. The next line is going to kill you.
Okay.
For everyone saying they think I'm autistic. Probably, yeah. I haven't been tested, but maybe I should.
Yeah, if you relate to Sheldon, then that's possibly an issue. I don't know.
An issue? It's just an indication of maybe something might be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I don't know much about the show, but as far as I know, Sheldon's usually like an asshole in the show too. So that's why I would say an issue as well. But I don't know.
Well, he's an a-hole because he's an a-hole. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah. It's not related to the autism. Yeah, it's just he's an asshole.
Their next clarification is, I do not have loose M&Ms in my pocket because then they'd melt. They'd get all melty and gross. I keep them in a bag in my purse. I know the title was clickbaity, so I want to make some things clear. I don't think of it as training until my friend said it was like I was training him, and that made me feel weird. That's why I made the post. I'm not and never have been trying to modify behavior. What I noticed in him and what I noticed in animals were stress responses. We only get aggressive over our food if we believe someone's going to take it away. We get defensive over our spaces if we reasonably feel like they'll be violated. Applies to both animals and people. I was trying to establish trust the way I best know how to do.
So basically, she interacts with dogs more than people, like, is what it sounds like.
I mean,
which
yeah,
I guess if it's
sense.
her, like, if it's her full-time 40-hour job. Then
Yeah, you start thinking of it in those terms.
Yeah.
If he... Hold on, there's a little bit more.
Okay.
If he never shared fries and never wanted to park next to a car with wide doors again, that'd be fine with me, to be honest. I know he's not a dog, so he's not at risk of being euthanized or something. On to the update proper. Yay. So, to all the people who told me I should tell him what I'm doing, you were right. And that's what I did. Turns out I was very wrong about him not noticing what I was doing. He apparently put 2 and 2 together pretty quickly after I started doing it. He didn't tell me he was on to me, though, because he liked it.
Oh, that's great. Oh, my gosh.
He didn't tell me he was on to me, though, because he liked it and was worried I'd get embarrassed and stop if I knew he knew. So we talked it out and ended up not being a very big deal at all, and I'm probably gonna keep having M&Ms because they're good. That's all I got for y'all.
That's funny. That's great. I'm glad though. At least there's the, like, you know, he's not an idiot. So
yeah, he's like, can see that she's like clearly like
and
offering
also,
him M&Ms.
Also, if you're like aware of what her job is too, then that's another big one of, okay, you can put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it helped the clarification for me that she's not doing this on purpose. When she said, I didn't think of it as training until
someone pointed it out.
So she pointed out that you're treating him like a dog. And she's like, oh, yeah, I kind of am, aren't I?
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, if you have M&Ms on you and then you like just give it to people as like a little reward, here he goes, then yeah, it could be.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
She's not being malicious about it. And she's not even looking down on him or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I noticed this. Like, it's actually kind of cute that she's like noticing his behavior and wants to help him with it. Like, that's actually pretty wholesome. But it's just funny the way she goes about doing it. It does sound very autistic to me.
Was that one crate something? Like, that's still the funniest.
Crate aggression.
Yeah, the fact that this must be her post realizing is she's doing it like a dog.
He's really particular about his car. Territorial / crate aggression.
That's funny. That part is the most hilarious. It's like the most, like, you can't even like fake that's not a dog term, you know?
Crate aggression is crazy.
I mean, I guess before realizing he knows and is okay with it, there's a question of, are you an asshole for it? I mean, obviously, if you're not doing it on purpose, I'd say definitely not.
Yeah. I feel like maybe if she had that realization and then delved farther into it, because she was like, wow, this is a great idea. And then maybe that would make her a little bit of an asshole. But she realized it and then ended up telling him about it.
Yeah. I think
he was fine.
Yeah. That's like the two things. One of which is like, you know, if you're doing something and it's working and it's not hurting, and then there's just the question of like, how bad is the manipulation, right? And it feels like this isn't like that bad of a manipulation to be like, oh, you know, like secretly I'm doing what I do with like animals, but it also seems to be working, and it's like still catered towards a person.
Right. I think she's doing it with him in mind.
And it's not literally like I have a clicker out and I click it or whatever. and like I ignore you until you do what I tell you to. Like it's not
True.
like
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
level of dog.
Right.
So
She's not getting a shock collar
yeah,
and
yeah.
putting it on him secretly.
Yeah, yeah, like there.
Which is what I thought she was gonna do, something
Yeah.
like that. Like that's what I thought.
I
was
tase him
going.
every time he does something bad. Like,
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, yeah. I think for the most part it's fine, and especially the fact that she did eventually, when she realized what she was doing, talk to him about it. But yeah, I think it's more like if you started viewing this person as an animal too, is when it would become a problem, right? But if she's still viewing the human as a human, is what's important, and then it's just how she interacts with literally everyone, then yeah, that's just how she's going to interact with everyone.
She thinks of everyone in terms of dogs.
Probably.
You know, like I do stuff like that when I'm like really into something. I'll start thinking things in those terms. Like we got addicted to this video game from like 2013 to like 2015 until I got a job, and then I got full time, and then I had to stop. Good. But
Yeah.
anyway, I would always think of everything in terms of Vindictus. Everything, and oh my gosh, yeah, I can understand.
The recent one, I mean, it wasn't nearly as close to the addiction that Vindictus was, but Don't Starve, where you'd be like, oh yeah, I need to eat to have my, like, you know, health meter go up and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If any of you have ever played Don't Starve, I specifically played Don't Starve Together, and I got really into it until it started giving me carpal tunnel. And I cannot have that considering my job is my hands.
Yeah.
So so in Don't Starve, you can't let yourself starve. You have to feed yourself regularly. You have to sleep, or your sanity meter goes down, and you have to balance those things. And if your food meter gets low, then your sanity meter gets low. And then you can also get hurt by things too. So you also have a health bar. So if you're getting hurt by monsters, then you have to make sure you're keeping your health bar up. And if your food bar gets low, your health bar also goes low. And so you have to like balance all of these things. And so when I was having trouble with eating, having trouble with whatever, I have to think of it as like I have to feed my health meter and my sanity meter and my food meter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my sanity meter is going to go down. Yeah, I really was thinking of it in terms like that.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. When you break it down like that, it makes a lot of sense.
So, like, it is accurate to enough to real life to where, like, yeah, if you don't eat, you're going to start, you know, having health issues. You're going to start going a little crazy. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then it makes it harder to take care of yourself to begin with, and it's reflected in the game, and it's reflected in life. See, that's what I really like. I like clear-cut instructions.
Yeah.
And I like things to be laid out, not black and white necessarily, but very specific. I want everything in its little box, and on those boxes can all interchange with each other, but I need it to be very, very set. And that's why I like all of these like media and games that are very strict on me, like have a set rules that I can follow. That's why I say fuck Zelda.
Oh, because that's a little much. You can relax. Because specifically Breath of the Wild, because it's a little too open world for you.
Too open world and not enough. Like tell me the point of this. Tell me the point of what I'm doing. Give me like there has to be a point to this.
Yeah.
So that's why I was so obsessed with sandbox games, Animal Crossing, Don't Starve Together, and Dungeon Keeper, and
because there was still like a very obvious end goal for everything you would do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Roller Coaster Tycoon. You know, I don't like the newer ones though because they're. Ugh. Anyway, shall we
sound bit that is probably gonna suck later. Please, you don't have to do it again. You don't have to do it again. I'm sorry to everyone watching.
Sorry.
Like, just a quick reminder, you're not just torturing me right now.
Well, I'm leaving it in because we promised to make very little edits. Anyway, so next story.
Specifically, you're the editor here, so that's why.
I'm the editor. I don't got time for this. Anyway, so the next one is from Entitled People. So it's entitled Neighbor demands I stop using my own Wi-Fi because it's distracting her plants.
Oh, yeah, that's so reasonable, actually.
Yeah. Yes, you read that correctly. I live in a townhouse complex with paper-thin walls and a whole bunch of colorful personalities. One of them is my neighbor, a woman in her late 50s who wears tie-dye every day, insists she has a telepathic connection with crystals, and once told me my aura was too digital. I'm sitting out front on my phone with my computer relaxing. I suppose that's why she feels I'm too digital. But her latest stunt truly took the cake. Last week, she knocked on my door holding a small potted plant in one hand and a printout of what looked like a hand-drawn diagram of a Wi-Fi signal in the other. She told me we needed to talk about my router. I was confused. She then explained that my Wi-Fi was disrupting the vibrational energy of her succulents. She pointed to the drawing, which honestly looked like a sad jellyfish, and said that the signal beamed directly through our shared wall and bombarded her plants nonstop. According to her, the plants were spiritually wilting because they thought the Wi-Fi was sunlight, but it wasn't. The best part? Her plants were in a dark hallway with no natural light.
Oh, so it's just all her fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
She claimed they'd been fine until I got a new modem and then gave me two options. Either turn off my Wi-Fi every night between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Apparently the plant's rest hours. Or let her share my Wi-Fi and move the router into her unit so she could regulate the signal properly.
Oh yeah, no, this is just this is just a. Yeah. If you bang it, you gotta hold it. This is definitely just a ploy to like get free Wi-Fi. Like it feels like that.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
I laughed because she thought I was joking. No, I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. She stormed off as I was laughing at her, still currently waiting to see what comes out of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always sad when you have a literal insane person. And also, like, it's so sucky when it's like your whole thing is being anti-technology, so you'll never Google the fact that you're super wrong is very annoying.
And the fact that she printed out some sort of picture of the Wi-Fi. What is that?
I think she just hand drew that, whatever it was. Yeah.
No, he said it looked printed out.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah, she printed out some weird picture of the Wi-Fi.
I'm wondering if she drew it and then printed out, or she just like someone else actually had that. And so there's like a community of people who truly believe this.
Girl.
And that's how she learned it and then decided to show her.
You can find communities of people for everything.
Yeah.
And you know what? It probably starts with somebody just fucking with people.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
There's definitely a good amount of people in all of those that are fucking with people too.
Yeah. Someone says, if you see this, please document every interaction with this woman. I've dealt with wild people like this before, and it always ends the same. Over time, they'll resent you and start blaming you for everything. Then it will end in her calling the cops and claiming you did all types of wild stuff. Do yourself a favor and document everything. Yeah.
Make
That's
Reddit
true.
posts specifically for documentation.
Yeah, because clearly that lady is mentally unwell.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I mean, to be fair. Oh.
Sorry, go on. Go on.
You gotta stop reading ahead and then making these gasps.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Do your thing. Do your thing.
I thought you already gave up, so I was about to give. Okay.
Now I can't.
Give her a router that connects to nothing and let her turn it off and on.
That's smart.
That's actually pretty dang smart.
But
That's
then,
actually pretty dang
and
smart.
then it would super expose her if she's like, I tried to connect to it for intranet, whatever, and it wouldn't work. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, though, that wouldn't work because then she could literally just like check Wi-Fi near her and see if the neighbors is still on. So, yeah.
But what were you gonna say? Do you remember?
Oh, the question of how, like, I wouldn't say she's like majorly mentally ill. It's likely just also like completely misinformed. I mean, that's unless we want to call all of them mentally ill. There's definitely a lot of very misinformed people right now, right?
Well,
so it's a thing that could definitely happen. And if you're like that misinformed and you're just like, there's more the like refusal to learn something new. So that's just her knowledge of it.
But it also just sounds kind of like brain rot to me.
Yeah.
Like her brain, it sounds like it's rotting to me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's harsh, but like there's multiple layers to why this lady is insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just like one thing that happened. That's why I'm like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some in there, but I wouldn't say that's like the primary reason for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Someone said I'd be renaming my network to something like Die Plants Die.
Okay, that's where she starts attacking you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, this was just a regular post, so I guess there's
This
not
is just
really
a
an
regular-
update or
there's-
anything right now.
No, there's no updates.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is actually really recent. This was only posted yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was only posted yesterday.
All right,
so
we'll see. If there's an update
I'm
in a couple
gonna
weeks.
I'm gonna post it. If there's any updates or anything, you can take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll post it in the description. So we have one more story for today. So the next story is a wedding theme. We just had a couple friends get married recently, so this is an ode to them. Sound off in the comments if you're watching your opinion of this. So this one's from Wedding Shaming.
Okay, I'm gonna clarify it. It's a little sad to do an ode to them on wedding shaming, but yeah, we'll see.
Don't judge until you know the story.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Relatives offended because our wedding made them feel cheap. Just got to give some context. My wife and I are very fortunate to both make six figures.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I've never heard of that before because that's so far away from me. It was difficult. We had also lived together for a year before our engagement and wedding, so we already had all the household stuff we needed and didn't really feel like we want to ask for more. So for our wedding, we purposely didn't have a registry, and in our invitation, we specifically said gifts are not required. Your presence is the greatest present. We did also so. Okay, they said that weird. We did so also to minimize the expenses for our guests, hoping as many of our friends and family would come and celebrate with us as possible. Mm-hmm. We do have a card box at the reception table for guests to write well wishers and slide their cards in. Apparently, some of my wife's relatives thought it was a subtle way to ask for money. It wasn't, so they felt obligated to put cash and checks in the envelopes. Afterward, my wife and I overheard them complaining to my mother-in-law that it made them feel cheap, like the wedding was a fundraiser or a transaction. My wife almost burst into tears, so I stepped over and clarified that the money was not asked or wanted. I offered to give them their envelopes back so they could remove their money. They refused since what's done is done. Made the entire wedding awkward for us and them. Other folks had zero idea. Made me feel like no good deed goes unpunished.
That's so stupid.
That's wild.
That's
wild.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Like, I've never heard of anyone being like that. Because, like, a card box at a wedding is incredibly normal. Incredibly normal. And if you have on your invitation...
says no gifts. Like, because there's so many weddings will just say, like, we'll accept cash gifts, but we don't want anything physical. That would be the meaning for that. But to say no gifts, and then you put it on yourself to do something and then complain about it is super dumb.
Yeah, like because you saw a card box.
Yeah. Which also means, did they on the spot decide after they saw the card box to like,
that's what it makes me
let
think.
me bust out my checkbook?
That's what it makes me think, because if they hadn't seen it at the wedding, how would they have known?
Yeah.
How are you gonna complain to a bride and groom at the wedding?
Yeah.
Something stupid like that. Something so stupid.
Mm-hmm. That's super annoying. It's very much in general just I did a nice thing, because in my mind if I felt forced to, even though you never said anything regarding this, and now I'm mad at you for it. Like that last part especially.
It also
is the
doesn't
weird
make
part.
sense, because in a normal situation they would be giving cash or money or presents or something.
Right. If they still felt like they would normally give something. I guess it's also maybe for them, it's like, if you did say we are only taking cash, they'd be mad about that too. I don't know. That still seems dumb.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
like it's normal to give money at weddings. So the only thing that changed is they said don't give money or
don't give gifts. But here's the thing for cards, and you
Cards
thought
is
cards
whole-
was like this secret. Oh, you have to give us money thing, and now you like feel pressured or some shit because you're insecure.
Wild.
I don't
That's
know.
wild. So the comments say one person says bunch of martyrs. If they don't understand what is written, there's not much you can do. You know, like people women basically saying what we're saying is like, how much clearer can you be? They obviously had brought cards, as would most people. Where else would the cards go but in a box? Yeah, no, seriously, because you don't just pull a card out of your booty.
Did you last minute censor yourself? With
Censoring?
that little pause?
No. I'm talking pirate booty.
Okay.
I'm a pirate. Arr.
Oh
Pull
my
a
God.
card out of me booty.
Okay.
Why do people try so hard to be offended? No one forced them to add a monetary gift. No, for real. Like, if you don't feel like you want to give a monetary gift, don't. So someone says, I'd be passive aggressive and write an email to all the attendees. In that email, I would say that some people put money in the card box. I would remind everyone that we expressly asked not to get any money. Since these people refused to take the money back when offered, we have given it up for charity. I would name these people with their connection to the family and the charity the money had been given to in their name, and I would indeed do so, making sure I sent the money to a charity I knew they would never have supported. Soup Kitchen, Animal Welfare, support of the LGBTQ youth, immigrant support. They're really assuming these people.
Yeah.
Whatever I know it is their a-hole self would look down upon. You want to be a martyr at my expense? Well, I'll effing martyrize you to your liking. I'm so pissed right now.
Yeah, this person has some personal grudge right now. Like, they're extra
I'll
bad.
fucking martyrize you to your liking.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I do think that's a little extreme.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that is so unnecessary. If people want to give me money and they feel cheaped out, just be like, do you want it back?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
you don't?
why are you saying this to me?
Okay, then get over it.
I'll be like, this is what I said. I don't know, but I also I have no patience for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no, I know. I just go into a brick wall mode.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like it's kind
Tough.
of like if I gave you the opportunity to fix your mistake and you're not going to, I'm not going to feel bad anymore for you. Like it's like here it is right here. You could take the money back if you feel upset, or you can get over it.
They want to be mad.
Like, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I told you that you're wrong. Like it's very obvious. So you just want to be mad. So then fine, be mad.
Yeah. So someone says, wow, under the comment that we just read, I kind of did this. Shortly before my wedding, I got into it with a wealthy relative for voting for Trump. He was, unsurprisingly, an a-hole about it. So I donated most of his very generous wedding gift to voting rights charities. Dang. I don't think I would do that because I'm greedy. Anyway, so
I donated that to my personal bank. Yeah.
Yeah, right. They're better than me. They're a nicer person than me.
Yeah.
So it said they brought a signed card in an unsealed envelope, just waiting to see if there was, in fact, a card box on the table. Incensed at the sight of the offending box, they stuffed the check they'd already written and signed, slashed the crisp bills they'd gotten from the ATM into the card, and licked the envelope glue to seal it. With a grimace on their face, that glue tastes awful, they angrily shoved the card into the sweetly decorated box with all their might and walked away muttering to their +1 and everyone within earshot, "See, I told you there would be a box. I knew they didn't mean it when they said they didn't require gifts. They just wanted my hard-earned money." Every a-hole wedding guest since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. Like, cause literally,
Yeah, you
like,
had to go through a lot of
you
like
brought
effort
it
and
already
planning.
unsealed and everything. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
While
Or
you
you like
cried.
kind of brought it like even before knowing there's a card box, you still brought the money in some way or another. So like you were ready to give this money, and then like saw that there was a spot to give the money.
Yeah.
And then gave the money, and then you're mad about giving the money, even though they did not ask for money.
Yeah, and you know they were old, because who the fuck has a checkbook?
That too.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
That they bring places. Who has a checkbook that they bring places under the age of 50?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you do, and you're under the age of 50, that means you're really old.
How recent is this?
Yesterday, no, 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Two
Even the
days ago.
cash ones now are like pretty like probably also questionable.
Well,
Because
no, a lot of people love doing cash, but and if they're gonna give it in a card, they'll do
but
But
I think the still general idea is if you thought that they wanted money, then that's because they set up something so that you could send them money online. Like that's what most people do now. If they're getting married and they're accepting some
Okay.
kind of money, then
again,
they would set it up virtually. So there's like,
they are old.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So even the people who are bringing cash, separate from the check people, the cash people also have to be somewhat older to like register or to like not, or like to still think, oh, I was required to bring money here.
Yeah,
Because there's
fair.
like so many like, even for what, like we're not even like considered that young anymore, unfortunate. But even for us, we still would know like, oh, if they wanted money still, there'd be some way to donate like money virtually. And if there's not, and they didn't ask for cash or checks,
Yeah,
then
anyone
they-
under 45 is gonna be thinking those kind of thoughts.
yeah. And then at that point is like, if I choose to, I can still give them money. But not like they're probably expecting money, those greedy fucks.
Yeah,
It's so
they're just
weird.
projecting because I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they are old. Maybe
Yeah.
it is like
It's still kind of like, because there's the idea of like, hey, if I'm going to a wedding, someone's getting married, I should still give something. But if you're doing that out of spite, then you should not give something. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's the main thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you're angry about it, then maybe don't do that.
Yeah, just don't give the money.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, hey.
Hell, even if they asked for something and you like were gonna be mad about giving it to them, then don't. Like,
Yeah, nobody wants you to give them a gift
and then
if you're
like,
gonna be resentful about having given them a gift.
yeah,
Like,
then
okay, bye.
rather just
I
keep
don't
it.
want it then.
Yeah.
Like, dang, okay,
Mhm.
sure. I'll remember that one.
Now we're getting mad as that comment is. Yeah.
That one was crazy.
Yeah.
That was so specific. I was like, that's a little overkill.
I'll fucking martyrize you.
You want to be a martyr? I'll martyrize you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
Anyway, that is my last one for today. So
Mhm.
thanks for joining in. We should have another video up next week or the week after. We don't know, but thanks for joining, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Yay. I'll fucking martyrize you.